Hi, you said that you wanted a video on solving linear systems in 3 variables. So here's a problem that we did not do in class today. So let's go through the steps. Okay, so your first step is always to check in the calculator. Okay, let me get a calculator out real quick. And there's going to be some glare on this, but okay, so first thing we do is press menu, we go to algebra, and we do our solving systems of linear equations. Sometimes you'll have 2 steps to get to this point. Depends upon what your calculator's up to, okay? All right, so we're going to change it to 3, and it sets up for the 3 systems. Again, we did this in class, and it's written on the back of your notes page. Okay, so you start typing it in. 2x plus y minus 3z equals -5, and 5x plus 2y minus 2z equals 8, and 3x minus 3y plus 5z equals 17. Hit enter, and now you know what your answer should be. So at least on the regions, you've got your 1 point for the answer, okay? But now let's go through and actually do the problem algebraically, okay? So you want to look through to see if there's a variable that can easily cancel. None of these have the same number at all on any of our variables, okay? So we need to pick one that we're going to choose to eliminate. So this, I'm going to eliminate the y, okay, because I can easily multiply this by -2, and then this has a +2, and then I can eliminate the y from here, okay? So that's going to be my first step. I'm going to take the first equation and times it by -2, and I'm going to take the second equation and just bring it down. So 5x plus 2y minus 2z equals 8, and multiply everything by -2. So that's a -4x and a -2y and a plus 6z equal to 10. So now my y's cancel, and I'm going to get x positive 4z equal to 18. So now I have a 2-term system, okay, 2-variable system. The second thing I want to do is eliminate my y again with 2 different ones. So I can either choose the second and third, and I could multiply this by 3 and this by 2, so that I'll have opposite 6s. Or I could choose the first and third and just multiply the first one by 3, and it eliminates as well. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. So I'm going to bring the third one and the first one down. The first one I'm going to multiply by 3. Again, the reason why I'm multiplying by 3 is because then my y's will eliminate. If I eliminated the y in this, I need to eliminate the y in the second step as well. So 3 times that is 6x plus 3y minus 9z equals -15. And then I'm just going to bring over the third one, 3x. I don't need to multiply it by anything because it automatically eliminates the y's again. Okay? So this adds to 9x, this adds to a -4z, and this adds to 2. So now you'll notice you have a 2-term, a 2-variable, and a 2-variable. So you're right back to the stuff that you did in Algebra 1. Okay? So the third step is to bring those 2 systems together. X plus 4z equals 18, and 9x minus 4z equals 2, and eliminate another variable. Well, in this case, we don't even have to do any multiplying because they're already opposites. So if I add these 2 together, I'm going to get 10x equal to 20. Divide both sides by 10. I get x equals 2. Okay, now, this is why you check your calculator first. You just did a lot of work, 3 full steps to get to this first answer. You already checked in the calculator, you know 2 is correct. So that tells you you can keep going. If you didn't get 2 here, you'd go back through all of your work to find whatever mistake you made, okay? So 4th step is now I have 2 for x. I can choose either one of these equations to sub into, because if I plug in a 2, I can find out what z is. If I plug in a 2 to this, I can find out what z is. Technically, you should never plug into something that you've already changed, but because you know it's correct from your check already, you can just keep going from there. So either one, I'm going to choose the first one. Okay, so this equation, I'm now going to plug in or substitute my 2. Move the 2 over, doing the opposite operation, so subtract it, and then divide, and I get z is 4. Well, up here we know z is 4. Remember, this is always alphabetical, x, y, z. So that's checking as well. So now my final step is step 5, and that would be to use these 2 values that we solved for into one of the originals to solve for my y, the unknown. Okay, so you can choose any of these 3 originals. I'm going to choose the first one. Okay, so I'm rewriting the first one, and now I'm just going to substitute in the values that I got. So I got a 2 for x. I did not solve for y. I got a 4 for z. So that's 4 plus y minus 12 equals -5. Which is really y minus 8 when I combine, equals -5. I'm going to add the 8 to both sides, and I get y equaling 3, which is what I got up there. Okay, so that checked. So my answer is alphabetically the x, then the y, then the z. Okay? Now remember, if the region says solve and check, you need to put the x, y, and z in all 3 of these linear equations, okay? All 3. So you would be doing 3 checks. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a step-by-step through everything that we did. And if you have any questions, just ask me tomorrow in class. Okay? Have a good night.